Left side plays in Italy for down the line, and a good one, a very good one. To thumbs up to give Egypt the lead here. Well, did he get the ball there? 10 yards out. Trezeguet with a beautiful.
For 9 decades, Egypt had carried the weight of this moment. 92 years of showing up at this tournament, playing their hearts out, and leaving with absolutely nothing to show for it. 3 previous World Cup appearances, 1934, 1990, 2018, and not a single win to their name. That was the burden resting on the shoulders of every Egyptian player who stepped onto the BC Place turf in Vancouver on this Sunday evening. And for the first 57 minutes of this match, it genuinely looked like that burden was going to crush them one more time. New Zealand did not come here to be polite. The All-Whites attacked from the very first whistle, and within moments it was clear this was a team playing without fear. Sarpreet Singh tested the Egyptian defense early. Elijah just came agonizingly close from distance, and then in the 15th minute, it all came crashing down for the Pharaohs. Tim Payne, the social media sensation who has somehow become one of the most watchable players at this entire tournament, swung in a corner from the right. Finn Surman was waiting. The 6'3" Portland Timbers defender had read the flight perfectly, and he threw himself into a thunderous header that gave Mostafa Shobeir absolutely no chance. Egypt's defensive marking was a disaster. Surman was completely free inside the box. New Zealand 1, Egypt 0, and the dream of a historic first win was already hanging by a thread. The All-Whites sensed blood. Rather than sitting back and protecting their advantage, they kept pushing, kept pressing, kept creating. Egypt's response was disjointed and uncertain. Their big moment came in the 35th minute when Omar Marmoush set up a free kick short for Mohamed Salah, the captain, the talisman, the one man Egypt's hopes rest entirely upon, and Salah drove it straight into the side netting, wide of the left post. The traveling Egyptian supporters went quiet. Was this just going to be another night where their greatest player couldn't make the difference when it mattered most? Halftime arrived, and the numbers were damning. For the first time across all of Egypt's World Cup history, every single game going back to 1934, they were walking into the tunnel trailing. Never before had this happened. In 1934 against Hungary, in 1990 against the Netherlands and England and Ireland, in 2018 against Uruguay and Russia and Saudi Arabia, never once had Egypt been behind at the break. And now, with the knockout stage within touching distance, New Zealand had done what no team had managed in 92 years of Egyptian World Cup football. They'd made the Pharaohs chase. Something happened in that dressing room. Nobody outside those 4 walls will ever know exactly what was said, what adjustments were made, what fire was relit. But when Egypt reappeared for the second half, they were unrecognizable. Higher up the pitch, quicker in transition, sharper in every touch. New Zealand started retreating deeper and deeper as the Pharaohs began to suffocate them. The 52nd minute, Shobeir, Egypt's own goalkeeper, had to make an athletic save at the other end to tip a looping McCowett header over the bar. Back and forth it went. The tension was unbearable. Then the dam broke. 58 minutes on the clock, Mohamed Hani drove a cross in from the right side, and in the center of the penalty area, absolutely unmarked, was Mostafa Zico. He met it cleanly, directed it with power, and although Crookham managed to get fingertips on the ball, he could not keep it out. Egypt won, New Zealand won. The entire Egyptian section inside BC Place detonated. Zico ran toward the crowd with his arms outstretched, feeding off their energy, demanding more. The comeback was on. The stadium could feel it. 9 minutes later, the comeback was complete. A lightning Egyptian counterattack sliced right through the heart of New Zealand's defense. The ball moved quickly, and then came the moment. Mohamed Salah received a deft backheel from Zico, took a single touch to set himself, and then curled it, low, hard, into the bottom left corner. Crookham had no chance. Salah ran away with his fist pumping toward the sky, and his teammates buried him in celebrations at the corner flag. Egypt had the lead. Egypt, who had never won a World Cup game in 92 years, were now winning. Let the record state exactly what that goal meant. Mohamed Salah, at 34 years and 7 days old, had just broken the record for the oldest Egyptian player ever to find the net at a World Cup. He leapfrogged Magdi Abed El Ghani, who had set that mark against the Netherlands all the way back in 1990. And beyond the age record, Salah has now scored or assisted in every single World Cup appearance of his career, from Russia in 2018 to Vancouver in 2026. He already laid on the assist for Mohamed Hani's goal against Belgium in Egypt's opener. Now this. The Superstar World Cup they keep talking about, Salah is very much at the center of it. New Zealand had nothing left to give. Their energy was gone, their shape was gone, and Egypt were in full control now, pressing for the kill. Salah drifted to the left in the 82nd minute and delivered a corner with his trademark precision. Into the box it curled, and substitute Trezeguet, fresh off the bench, launched himself into a diving header at the near post. It hit the back of the net before Cromham even had time to react. 3-1. Done. Finished. History made. Trezeguet had written his own small chapter in Egyptian football history, the first substitute ever to score for Egypt at a World Cup. With 5 minutes remaining, Salah walked off to a standing ovation. All 52,497 people inside BC Place, Egyptians, New Zealanders, neutrals, rose to acknowledge a man who, at 34, is still performing on the biggest stages in world football. The numbers from this night will stay with historians for a very long time. Egypt had scored 3 goals in a World Cup match only once before in their history, against Hungary, back in their debut appearance in 1934. They became the first African nation to come from a goal down and win a World Cup game since Tunisia defeated Panama in 2018. For New Zealand, the record tells its own painful story. 8 World Cup matches, no wins, and for the first time ever, a defeat after having taken the lead. But the story of this night belongs entirely to Egypt. It belongs to Salah, who refused to let the first half define him. It belongs to Zico, who dragged his country level when they needed it most. It belongs to Trezeguet, who stepped off the bench and delivered. And it belongs to every single Egyptian supporter who packed into that stadium in Vancouver, draped in red, daring to believe that tonight might finally be different. After 92 years, the Pharaohs have their World Cup victory. Egypt top Group G. A draw against Iran in the final group game sends them into the knockout round. The journey is not over. If anything, it has only just begun.